If you're nervous about something, tell me. If there's something you're self conscious about, you can tell me. If you hate a certain side, tell me. If you really don't like having your photo taken, tell me.
Shut up and
Hey, Shutter Squad, welcome back to the one behind the lens. I'm probably sounding a little different right now because my microphone isn't working, but I want to get this episode done and out. So bear with hopefully you can hear me good. It's a little weird not having a microphone in front of my face, but this is a really good conversation to end this podcast season, and this is for photographers and for seniors, upcoming high school seniors and their parents. So I think this is a great one to just combine. There were two other episodes that I recorded this season in season 3. It is the what to wear and your how to pick your locations. You don't have to listen to them in any particular order, but that is kind of like the little trilogy, a little senior session playbook, and this is part 3. This season has been filled with some incredible conversations, lots of photography talk, business talk, marketing talk, probably a few confessions along the way. And I just thought this episode would be a really good one for the end because over the last couple of solos, we have talked about how to choose locations, then we talked about what to wear, and today we're going to talk about the part that I think makes people more nervous than any of those things. What do I actually do in front of the camera? Because I hear that all the time. I hear about how awkward I am. I don't know how to pose. I hate having my picture taken. I don't know what to do with my hands. And my personal favorite is I'm not photogenic. So today we're talking about all of it. And whether you're a senior getting ready for your session, a parent listening because you're trying to help your senior prepare, or you're a photographer listening and thinking about how you can create a better experience for your clients, I think there's something in this episode for you. So let's just dive in. First, you don't need to know how to pose. This might be the biggest misconception people have about professional photos. You think you're supposed to show up knowing what to do. You're not. That's my job. If you're standing in front of my camera thinking, where do I put my hands? Where do I look? What do I do with my feet? I should be answering those questions for you. And I honestly should be asking those for you before you're really even thinking about it. I'm going to tell you where to stand. I'm going to help you with your hands. I'm going to tell you where to look. I am going to watch your posture. I'm going to notice if something isn't laying correctly, and I'm going to make adjustments as we go. You do not need to practice 47 poses in your bedroom mirror before your senior session. In fact, sometimes I think that makes people more nervous because they're trying to recreate something instead of just being present. Now, I do ask seniors as we're like walking to another location, hey, if you have any poses that you want to do that maybe you saw on Pinterest, please let me know. Because if you do have something, if you've seen maybe something that's, for your sport or for any kind of activity, I do want you to let me know, but don't think that you have to come to your session with like prepared poses. My job isn't to put you somewhere and say, okay, do something cute. No, absolutely not. That would stress me out as the photographer. My job is to direct you. And there's a difference between posing someone and directing someone. I don't just I don't just want to put your body into a position. I want you to get moving. I want reactions. I want expressions. I want the little in between moments because that's usually where you show up. You probably won't feel comfortable immediately, and that is okay. Here's something else I think people need permission to hear. The first 5 or even 10 minutes might feel awkward. You just probably maybe just met me in person. We might have had our Zoom call prior, but we have literally are just meeting in person. Maybe you've met me before. Maybe we've even worked together. Maybe I did like your family session. But I am going to be pointing a camera right in your face. And senior photos are way different than family sessions. You're by yourself. It's all about you. There's no one else there. So, of course, it's going to feel a little strange, and that's normal. I don't expect somebody to step out of the car and immediately turn into like America's next top model. We're warming up. I'm figuring you out. You're figuring me out. We're talking. We're trying things. I'm learning what makes you laugh, what makes you give me, a little smirk and I'm even trying to figure out what I would do that would make you say like, "Okay, absolutely not." And that's all part of it. This is also why I don't usually start a session with most complicated ideas. I also usually don't tell seniors to wear their favorite outfit first. I will say wear that maybe the second or third outfit because, again, you're just getting warmed up. Let's just get comfortable first. Let's get some easy wins. Let's move around. And eventually, you're going to forget so much about the camera. You're going to just be in the moment. You'll just stop worrying about the camera. And I know this is easier said than done, but one of the best things you can do during your senior session is stop trying to figure out what you look like because here's what happens. You start thinking, you start thinking, is my smile weird? Does my hair look okay? What is my arm doing? Is my chin weird? Do I look awkward? And suddenly you're not actually in the moment anymore. You're watching yourself have the moment. That's where having a photographer you trust matters. Let me watch those things. If your hair needs fixed, I'll tell you. Also, have, a parent come with. So if you have mom coming with, we could have mom on like hair duty, or I've even had like mom on necklace duty. Like if there's a necklace, I just want to make sure it's laying correctly. And I might be looking at some other things. I might just have mom make sure that it's looking right. I will let you know if you need to move your hand, or if something isn't working, we'll change it. You don't need to monitor yourself the entire session. That's going to get super exhausting. Your job is just to show up, and my job is to see you. So, movement is your friend. If standing still and smiling at a camera makes you uncomfortable, congratulations. You are like most humans. That's why I use movement so much. Walk towards me, walk away from me, play with your jacket, fix your hair, turn around, lean, sit, move your hands. I will tell you to look away. I make you look in every single direction there is, and then I tell you to come back to me. Sometimes I'll give you something completely ridiculous to do just because I know it's going to make you laugh. And yes, occasionally you might think, what is she making me do? Trust the process because sometimes I'm not photographing the weird thing I'm asking you to do. I'm photographing the reaction after you do it. That laugh, maybe even that eye roll, that moment when you relax. That's the picture. Hey, Shutter Squad, real quick before we get back to it. If this episode is hitting for you, I'd love it if you took 30 seconds to share it with a photographer friend. Send them the episode, post it to your stories and tag me, or just send the link in a text. That's the biggest way this podcast grows. It's not ads, it's not the algorithm, it's you sharing it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you haven't already, hit follow or subscribe so you don't miss what's coming up next. Okay, back to the episode. Bring things that make you feel like you. This is something we've talked about through this series, but it matters here too. You are going to feel more comfortable when there are pieces of you involved in the session. And that doesn't mean everything has to be an official school activity. Bring your guitar, bring your Jeep, bring your books, your dog, your skateboard, your camera. Bring the things you spend way too much money collecting. Bring the snacks you always get right after school or what, you have that wakes you up in the morning, whatever that is. Those things give us something to interact with. But most importantly, they give us something to talk about. And suddenly you're not thinking about having your photo taken. You're telling me about something that you love. That's when your personality will start to show up. And now, with that, bring somebody that makes you feel confident, that is going to hype you up. I usually will say that is mom. Bring mom. She is not only going to be your hype woman, she is going to probably be carrying all the things that you need. She's going to remember to have you change your shoes when you change an outfit that you forgot. She is going to be the person that again might, look at your hair and say, "Oh, I know you're not going to like it. You have it tucked. I know you're not going to like it tucked." Bring somebody that's going to make you feel a little bit more confident. And I do have some people that will bring their boyfriend, girlfriend. If that person makes you feel confident and not self-conscious, like if they're around and you're doing this kind of thing, that is fine, but just think about the person you're bringing and if they're just watching, how that's going to make you feel. You don't have to smile in every photo. I love, obviously, a genuine smile, but your entire senior gallery does not need to be 75 versions of you smiling directly into the camera. We can do serious, we can do soft, we can do confident, we can do laughing, movement, editorial. We can even go a little dramatic. We will get those classic photos for grandma and then we can do the one you are going to want to post. There's room for all of it. And sometimes my seniors will tell me I am terrible at serious faces. And okay, we'll try it anyway if you can. I have had some seniors that literally cannot be serious. Making them be serious just makes them laugh even harder, which I will shoot as well. Either way, we're going to get some great shots. Don't compare your session to someone else. This is a big one. You've probably looked at Pinterest. You've been looking at Instagram. You've looked through the photographer's website. You've seen your friends' senior photos. Inspiration is great, but your senior session shouldn't be a recreation of someone else's. You might see a pose and think, I want that. And then we try it and it doesn't really feel like you, and that's okay. We're not failing. We're figuring out what does feel like you. Every person moves differently. Every person has different expressions, different energy, different style. And honestly, that's what keeps senior photography so interesting. If I photographed every senior the exact same way, I would get bored and your photos would actually wouldn't tell anything about you. So we will definitely use that inspiration, but just know that we want it to be you. Tell your photographer what you're nervous about. If there is something that I wish people would do. This is it. If you're nervous about something, tell me. If there's something you're self conscious about, you can tell me. If you hate a certain side, tell me. If you really don't like having your photo taken, tell me. If you're nervous because you've never had professional pictures, you've never had them done before, I want you to tell me you're not being difficult. And honestly, I will have some of these questions in a questionnaire that I send out prior to even our Zoom call that we will have pre-session, because this gives me a little bit more about you. And sometimes when you're talking in front of somebody, you might even just like forget because there's so much we're talking about. So this form kind of lets you like sit and really think about what you want to tell me. And you're giving me information that helps me photograph you better. And photographers, if you're listening, this will go both ways. We need to create an environment where our clients feel comfortable telling us those things. Sometimes the most important part of being a senior photographer and the senior session happens before I ever pick up the camera. That's why I like consultations. I want to know who I'm photographing. What do you like? What do you hate? What are you excited about? What are you nervous about? I just had a senior that she wanted all of her photos in a city location. And I found out really it wasn't because she was just so drawn to brick. It was because she hates bugs. So she did not wanna be in nature because there's more bugs around. So tell me those things, and you as a photographer want your senior to tell you that. Parents, this part is for you. I say this with a lot of love. Your senior may be nervous. They may already be hyper aware of what they look like. And sometimes the best thing you can do during the session is to let them have the experience. Definitely be part of it. You will help with the clothes. You're going to probably carry things, fix stray hairs if we need to, make them laugh. But be careful about comments like stand up straight, smile better, your hair looks weird. Don't do that. Now, I did have a senior that did kind of laugh because we were like, he wasn't keeping his eyes open and it was the sun, even though it was cloudy, the sun was bothering his eyes. And his mom was like, open your eyes. And that actually made all of us laugh. And I actually showed him the back of the camera because he was like, my eyes are open. And then I showed him, and then he was like, oh. So don't think that you can't tell them things, but just think of the wording, because even if you mean well, that can immediately make someone self conscious. Also, trust the photographer to direct and let your senior settle in. One of my favorite things is watching somebody start a session unsure, and I can tell like literally maybe not even having a very good time. Halfway through, they are suggesting ideas to me, and that's when I know we have got them. And photographers, I want to end this part of the episode by talking directly to you. We do this all the time. Our clients don't. What's normal to us can feel incredibly vulnerable to them. Think about how weird it feels when somebody turns the camera around on you. Exactly. So don't rush the beginning of the session. Talk to them, explain what they're doing, what you're doing. Give them direction and give them feedback. I always say, like, we're going to smile, we're not going to smile. I'm going to have you move. I'm going to have you do, say, maybe a certain repetitive movement, but I'm going to keep talking to you so you don't feel like you are like having to, make it all up on your own. If somebody is standing there while you're completely silent behind the camera, their brain is going to start filling in the blanks. She hates these. I look terrible. This isn't working. Meanwhile, you're thinking, oh my gosh, this light is amazing. But say it. Just tell them. Say that looks great. Oh my gosh, this light, you look so beautiful. Oh, I love that. Confidence is contagious. And sometimes part of our job is lending our clients a little bit of ours until they find their own. So let's put all of these three parts of this series together. First, we talked about location, choose places that help tell your story, not just places that look pretty on Instagram. Then we talked about what to wear. Wear things that fit, that move well, that photograph well, and most importantly, that feels like you. And today, you don't need to know how to pose. You don't need to be photogenic. And you definitely don't need to become somebody else in your senior photos. You need a photographer who knows how to guide you, an experience that gives you room to relax and permission to show up as yourself. That is it. All right, guys. So that is what I had for you, Shutter Squad. We have officially reached the end of season 3 of The One Behind the Lens. And I just want to thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing episodes. Thank you for sending me messages when something resonates. Thank you for all the guests that came on this season and shared their story, their knowledge, their mistakes, their wins, and all the things we don't always see from the outside. And thank you for letting me have this space to talk about photography and business and marketing and creativity and all the weird stuff that comes with building a business and figuring things out as we go. Because if there's one thing I hope this podcast continues to remind you is that none of us have everything figured out. Not the photographer who's been doing this for a million years, not the photographer that's been doing it for 2 years. We're all learning, we're all adjusting, we're all trying things, we're all occasionally sitting in our cars wondering what the heck we're doing. Season 3 may be wrapping up, but I'm not going anywhere. We will be back for season 4. Season 4 will be dropping in October, so this will be a great time for you to be able to catch up on any episodes that maybe you didn't listen to in season 3 or even 1 and 2. Make sure that you're following or subscribed so that you know when we are back for the next season. And as always, you can find me over on social media and come say hi. Thank you so much for being part of the Shutter Squad. Thank you for being here for season 3. And remember that there's always more to the story behind the lens. I will see you next season.
Shut up and